But let's start with Dolphin Cove first, since I feel like that's been in the news a lot more and is of concern to shareholders, immediate concern. What's our update on Dolphin Cove?
So we saw the company put out a release last week, Tuesday. Over a week later, after the market had already sacrificed the stock price, and they mentioned a couple of things. So I'm just going to bring up Dolphin Cove quickly. Apologies. Do have my laptop as usual, and it's been a rough week. But Dolphin Cove last week, they pointed out. Yes, I found it. So Controladora, apologies for my accent. Controladora Dolphin SA, that the CV, that's Dolphin Discovery. They initiated a concurrence to mercantile, which is what they call a restructuring process for their debts and liabilities. And they kind of just reinforced or restated some of the things that I would have pointed out in my prior story. And they mentioned that Dolphin Cove's operations are unaffected. They mentioned that the Dolphin Discovery has 365 days to try and resolve that whole process. If no agreement is reached, it can potentially go to liquidation. And then on Friday, there was a Greener story where they spoke to the founder and former board member, Stafford Burrows, and that gave the market some level of comfort. Because
Yeah, the man said if they're willing to sell, he has the money to buy it. So that was
and I
very
can't wrong him there.
huh?
I cannot wrong him, to be honest, in that respect, because he still knows the business. He can find financing very quickly alongside his own wealth. So it would be a great bet. You sell it, make a profit, invest the money elsewhere, make a profit. You get to buy the same asset at a cheaper price, potentially cheaper price, and you move on. And Dolphin Cove stock price has reacted pretty aggressively as well. So on Friday, as persons were processing the news, so sometimes the markets will process news same day it comes out in the papers, might process it a couple of days later, but Dolphin Cove went until 11.90, and then it had to trade back up to like $13, and today it traded at $15, and it's close to that $14.80. So it was almost up 10% today in terms of the closing price change. But it's still down year to date by about 20%. So today you're at 1850, ended December at ended December 1850, ended January 1950, and it just started in the month around $12.80.
All right, so we're seeing the curve here on My Money JE. This was around the time the bankruptcy was announced, and we see this steep decline. But now we see the curve ticking back up, and that would be, I guess, since the Gleaner article came out, it's going back up. Ended today at
And that's just
14.80.
it, Kalila. And that's just truth of it. You need information to make decisions, and Dolphin Cove silence alongside the very weak response that came out last week, Tuesday, did not make anyone feel reassured as to what was going on. And one thing, Stafford said, which kind of confirmed my suspicions when he talked about the Miami Seaquarium deal that their company took on, and how that has not gone pretty sour. Because for Miami-Dade County to have a 324-page complaint in their courts for rent to get you out, it tells you that you really did not, do your part as was expected under an agreement.
Right. So I'm happy to see, the market reacting positively. I'm even happier to hear, the founder saying he is in a position to get it back, because we wouldn't mind seeing it back in Jamaican hands.
Agreed. And to be honest, it's going to be an interesting year, because it's going to be a game of who can check Twitter, who can try and navigate Mexico's laws, language to just find the most information. Because as that process progresses, you might get opportunities to actually hear more information about the state of the company and its debts. Because we saw the article speak about, a total amount of liabilities for the overall parent company, We don't know that this is actually for the parent company as a standalone entity or across the group. But it will be interesting to see Dolphin Cove change hands again and go back in Jamaican hands, can be profitable for Jamaicans even more. Because some institutional investors, they're looking at Dolphin Cove's properties that they've announced for sale in recent times. So persons who are looking to, after this news of the bankruptcy of the parent, to, in a sense, carve up assets or see what values in Dolphin Cove to extract.
Question from Benjamin. So if he buys Dolphin Cove, will the stock price remain the same, or was it backed by the parent company?
So I, I wouldn't say the stock price was backed by the parent company. The parent company owns 79.99%, or the direct parent company owns 79.99% of Dolphin Cove's ordinary shares. Those shares have been pledged as collateral for a note purchase agreement. I believe as a form of a loan. The parent company owns 90% of the intermediate parent company. So I wouldn't say that the parent company backed the stock price because they've not traded Dolphin Cove since they got their majority stake. And at the same time, the stock price, could potentially, go up even higher depending on who takes over the business if that event does occur.